For decades, we were told that recycling plastic would help save the planet, that those bottles and bags and wrappers we tossed into the blue bin would be reborn as park benches, picnic tables, maybe even new bottles. But it was a scam, a well-funded lie, backed by big oil and the plastics industry. And now, that lie is inside of us, in our blood, our lungs, our food, even our unborn children. This is the story of the greatest greenwashing con in history, and how it led to the rise of nanoplastics, which threaten ecosystems and our own health. See, the big lie began in the 1970s and 1980s. Let's rewind to the 1970s and 80s. Plastic waste was piling up fast. Environmental groups were gaining traction. People started to worry. Governments started talking about regulation. And the plastics industry? They started sweating. So what did they do? They launched an ad campaign. Millions were spent convincing the public that plastic recycling was the solution. Symbols were stamped on nearly every container. Recycle became a buzzword, a moral act. But internally, the truth was very different. Industry memos, now public, revealed that executives knew recycling wouldn't work. They admitted that it was too expensive, too inefficient, and that plastic could only be reused once or twice, at best. They promoted it anyway. Because as long as the public believed in recycling, the companies could avoid restrictions and keep selling more plastic. Can companies recycle plastic? Let's be clear, plastic can be recycled, technically. According to Futurama jokes and plastics execs, technically correct is obviously the best kind of correct. But for most of us, it isn't. And here's why. There are 7 types of plastic, and they don't mix well. Sorting is difficult, costly, and often done incorrectly. Many items are contaminated with food or oil, and recycled plastic is often lower quality, making it hard to resell. In fact, the recycling rate in the US has never topped 10%. Most years, it's closer to 5%. How? So where does all the used plastic go? Landfills, incinerators, the ocean, and over time, into the environment in smaller and smaller pieces. As plastic waste sits out in the sun, wind, and water, it breaks down. That's how we got microplastics, tiny plastic particles smaller than 5 millimeters. They've been found in sea salt, bottled water, and fish. Today, they've been found in nearly every ecosystem on Earth, mountaintops, ocean trenches, and yes, even in your food. We eat it. We drink it. We breathe it. And yet, that's not the worst part. Enter nanoplastics. These are fragments even smaller than microplastics, so tiny they can pass through cell walls. And now, studies have found them in human blood, breast milk, placenta, lung tissue, even the brain. They can trigger inflammation, disrupt hormones, affect fertility, damage gut bacteria, possibly cause brain disease. And because they're so small, there is no filter that reliably removes them. Researchers have found alarming amounts of plastics in brains during autopsies, enough to make a plastic fork. Trust me, we shouldn't wait for the entire set of cutlery. And studies have demonstrated the amount of nanoplastics in people has been increasing steadily. This is no longer just a pollution problem. This is a public health crisis. So how did we get here? Because plastic is oil. 99% of plastics are made from fossil fuels, mostly natural gas and petroleum. And just as we started to move toward renewable energy, big oil doubled down on plastic to stay profitable as demand for fuel began to slow. Demand for plastic was pushed harder, more packaging, more single-use containers, more convenience. They needed to keep pumping and profiting. And the recycling myth? That was the cover story. So what now? Recycling alone won't save us. It never could. We need to reduce plastic use at the source, support bans on single-use plastics, shift toward refillable and reusable systems, fund alternatives that are actually biodegradable, and hold the corporations behind this mess accountable. Governments can lead, but consumers can push. Because every plastic-free choice is a vote for a different future. You were told recycling would fix the problem. But the truth was buried, along with billions of plastic bottles. Now, the consequences are in your body, and in the bodies of generations yet to come. The plastic recycling scam wasn't just a failed policy, it was a crime against the planet. And now, it's personal. Let us know in the comments how you're coping with the plastic crisis, or how you think we should deal with it in the future. Sometimes it's the discussions that uncover the most interesting truths and ideas. Also, I hope you'll stick around by subscribing to the channel and liking this video. It helps provide me with vital motivation to keep uncovering other stories that can have a critical impact on our futures.